there are just a ton of uniques in Last Epoch and a ton of ways to find them. In this video, I'll be going over some of the rules and reasons for uniques dropping in specific places. I'll be answering questions like, where do I farm for that unique that I need? What determines where they drop? What about legendary potential? And I'll be clearing up some common misconceptions along the way. So without further ado, let's get into it. In the Monolith of Fate, there are two Echo reward types that will grant you unique items. The first is generic, and it can drop any non-boss unique of any base type. And the second specifies a base type, and it's entirely dictated by the timeline that you're in. Each timeline has its own exclusive reward type. For example, in Fall of the Empire, you may find echoes that will grant you a unique belt, but you won't find any echoes that specifically say that they'll grant you unique gloves. Now, this doesn't mean that gloves won't drop there, as they can still drop as generic unique rewards, as well as monster and boss drops. There are actually a few ways that you can improve your chances of finding some of these rare reward types. The first is by running Empowered Monoliths. Empowered Monoliths, just in general, will give you better rewards. The second way is by increasing your timeline corruption. Same thing, the higher the corruption of your timeline, as well as giving you the item quantity and rarity, will improve the kinds of rewards that you find in the timeline. Lastly, as you progress farther along in your web in the timeline, the farther away you get, the better the rewards are. So you'll start to find more generic and specific unique drops, you'll start to find more exalted items, things like that. Lastly, I want to clear up some misconceptions. Item quantity, item rarity, and character level do not affect what nodes appear on your timeline whatsoever. They may affect what actually drops as a result of the reward or what actually drops when you're killing stuff, but it doesn't change the timeline whatsoever. The exclusive reward type does not affect generic, monster, or boss drops whatsoever. All it says is that echoes that drop a unique this type can appear here and can appear anywhere else. Now, there are some unique items that are boss specific. Now, this means that on killing the boss, there's a chance for you to get that item, but there is no chance to get them anywhere else. They are boss exclusive. So before you start running timelines to try and get one of those uniques, take a look at the database to see if it drops from a boss. Let's take a look at the drop pool for the Age of Winter as an example. On killing Herod, you have a 50% chance to get the bow and a 50% chance to get the helmet. Now, you're guaranteed to get one of these two, but you can't get both. On top of this, there are two other uniques, the boots and the shield, which are a bit rarer. Now, these can drop on top of either the bow or the helmet, and getting more quantity and rarity will give you a better chance at getting some of those rare secondary uniques. Now, lastly, let's talk legendary potential. If you aren't familiar, LP is basically a system that allows you to add new modifiers onto a unique item. And if you want to learn more about it, let me know. I can make a follow-up video, and I'll also attach some resources below. Now, the only things that affect how many points of legendary potential a unique will have when it drops are its effective level for legendary potential and the level of the zone in which it drops. Those are the only things. Item quantity, rarity, character level, none of those things will affect the legendary potential of a single drop. However, quantity and rarity will give you more unique items in general, so it'll give you more rolls of the dice, giving you more chances to get higher LP. Well, that's it. That's really all the rules there are for uniques dropping in Last Epoch. I hope you found this useful. I'm live every now and then at twitch.tv/Philomanjaro, and as always, thank you so much for watching and never stop exploring.